I know some things are good for me. I literally publish a platform about making the time for ourselves and changing our behaviors to prioritize ourselves, and yet I don't do it.
Today, we're thrilled to welcome Samantha Skey, CEO of SheMedia.
Joining me today are Samantha Skey, CEO of SheMedia,
A passionate advocate for women's healthcare innovation.
I'm in menopause at the age of 44. Now, you're opening up that conversation. We are women and we're allowed to age.
A primary spoke in that wheel is destigmatizing perimenopause and menopause, allowing women to avail themselves of solutions that exist that have been misunderstood. All the healthy advice on stage, I don't really do most of it because I'm running a business. Can you change behavior?
It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Right. There are rooms where I'm not comfortable at all. There always have been. I was probably better at faking it when I was younger. I'm always insecure, and I just try to breathe through it and fake it.
But you're not faking it. You're doing it. Is there something you do before you walk into that room?
The best antidote for me.
The Big Silence. It's time to sing.
Welcome to the Big Silence podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Samantha Skey, how are you?
It is a pleasure.
The end of your Women's Health Summit in LA. How do you feel?
I feel at the end of these events, if I love the talent and I feel like I learned something and I had good conversations, then I feel very, very rewarded and I feel grateful. And in this case, that's how it went. So I feel grateful. I always feel sort of weirdly exhausted though also because it takes all of my energy in a way to interact with so many fabulous people and to try to put them in the right light and describe their achievements when we're introducing people. That does cause me to sort of black out on stage. And so I'm happy to be done.
But you do a great job. I know I was trying to get you to dance during.
I danced. I feel like
you
I
did
danced.
dance. I was trying to get you on stage.
That was a little scarier, but I really appreciated that you made us dance or suggested we dance.
Yeah. So you've been in women's media for how many years?
Well, so I've been in digital and tech for 30 years, which is weird because it's way back to the sort of the dawn of the internet. I was in head-to-head gaming sites and then Disney online. I moved into women's media specifically about 15 years ago. So meaning really serving a female audience as our primary user consumer, and really with at least kind of 80% plus women content creators on our side and our employer and our collective.
I feel like your focus now is very much so women 40s plus, the third chapter as you speak about,
yes.
And perimenopause, menopause. And even for myself, I'm in menopause at the age of 44. And I had a discussion earlier today with some of your other guests who were on stage about just women actually talking about it now and not being ashamed, because I was almost embarrassed at 37 going in peri. And now you're opening up that conversation to break the silence. We are women and we're allowed to age.
We are. And I think it's, so we launched Flowspace, it is our health brand, and it is focused on, I think of it as third chapter, because I don't know why. It's hard to describe when you're saying women over 40. It's not really an age. It's more of a stage in your life where on the one hand, you might be experiencing significant hormonal shifts, different challenges or experiences in your health, in your sexuality, in mental well-being, cognitive function. Those are all things that, are sort of in the ecosystem of menopause, perimenopause. But there are many women we serve who may have gone through early onset menopause or may have lost their periods through various surgeries or illnesses or diseases. But the life phase is really what we're focused on. When you've kind of gone through, if you chose to have a baby, you had those big years of fertility and then, making a human and raising it. Or maybe you had a really dig in, you founded companies and, maybe you were at your entrepreneurial height in a way, or you thought that was your entrepreneurial height. And maybe getting married, maybe finding a partner or whatever. Those years are, I think, really seminal. And we don't really talk about, if you're a quote empty nester, I hate that term, but or you are phasing out of one career and contemplating the next, if you're going through different health changes or caring for your parents or other or elders, God forbid you're doing both, which many of us are, the sandwich sort of caregiving situation. Those are the things we wanted to get around is how do you find space for yourself? Given all of this activity, we talk about moms a lot as the lead. This is not about moms. This is about women prioritizing themselves so that they can have a lifelong experience of well-being, mentally, physically. And so we launched Flowspace really with that in mind. A primary spoke in that wheel is destigmatizing perimenopause and menopause, bringing the innovation to light, allowing women to avail themselves of all sorts of different solutions that exist that have been, sort of back aisle and underutilized or misunderstood.
You as a CEO and being a woman and doing this for so long, where do you find your strength and what do you do for you?
Yeah, I always preach it, but I don't really do it. It's
and you're
often,
not alone in that either.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're all like, where do you get your, inner peace? And I'm like, I have zero of that thing you're talking about. And it's like, all the healthy advice on stage, I don't really do most of it because I'm running the business. And so thankfully I have really high integrity editors who can get into the science. But I don't know that I find a ton of space for myself, but I do have spaces where I find flow, where I see that I am really bathing in gratitude. And that's usually with my good friends, my good friends. I have some best friends from high school, from college, from work. Many of them are around here today. And just gleeful abandon with them, hiking with them is so rewarding and really takes me out of being a parent or a spouse or a boss or a whatever. So that is one thing that I really do for myself is make time for friends, even when it's in place of something else.
That is what was talked about on stage, getting in nature, community, socialization. So you are doing it.
Yeah, I hope so. I am taking some of our own advice. I'm trying to be mindful about whether I'm mindful or not.
Yeah. Have you ever, in this powerful position in a big media company and your partners and everything, have you ever had self-doubt in the boardroom and how do you overcome that?
Oh dear. I mean, I still do. I wouldn't say that I've overcome just that there are rooms where I'm not comfortable at all. There always have been. I was probably better in some ways at faking it when I was younger. It was a very male-dominated industry. I was in tech and media. First it was tech, then sort of gave way to digital media. I mean, there still are most rooms I'm in that once you get to a certain level of power, it's mostly men. It's mostly men making the bigger business decisions, the bigger investments. I'm not uncomfortable, but I am aware that I'm not totally in the club. I don't totally get the head fakes. How I handle it now, I have enough colleagues and wonderful collaborators that it doesn't, I recognize sometimes I'm probably making someone else in the room uncomfortable or vice versa. I do have a thing. I've always been asked if I get imposter syndrome. I don't love the term because I feel like it puts everything on the woman or the person who feels uncomfortable. Where I think of it, I looked up like other terms and there was imposter dynamic. There was like imposter phenomenon where it's like the room is what's creating sometimes that feeling and that insecurity. Meaning, if I were totally confident I could work through any room and see myself as a boss. But in many rooms, it's, it might be that the other 8 people at the table don't really want you there. And I don't know that we should put that on the woman, the minority, the sexually diverse, or just person who doesn't feel mainstream. I don't think we should put it on that person so much as a syndrome and rather as a societal phenomenon and a power dynamic that exists in society. So I'm always insecure and I just, try to breathe through it and fake it. And eventually
But you're not faking it. You're doing it. That's and I totally understand where you're coming from, but like you're not faking it. Is there something you do before you walk into that room?
Yeah, I do. What's great is if I actually, this sounds so, if I actually prepare. So I thought that it was like cool to wing it in a way. Like maybe I would be better if I was scared about not knowing my content or not knowing my pitch or not knowing my M&A or some other type of argument. If I didn't know that material, then maybe I could just like crank through it. I don't know. There's no good rationale for that, but preparing is actually the best antidote for me. And that sounds again like like things most people know, but I love having cards, like actual cards where I write things down.
Me too.
I like a hard card, I like a card, not a piece of paper. I want a card. I don't want my phone. And when they're written, I like writing in my own handwriting, but very like almost block letters. That it's a type of handwriting I wouldn't use.
Yep.
I'm talking primarily about being on stage or being in a boardroom or an executive room where you are trying to bring forth a certain argument or point of view, and you want to do so confidently and cogently. So that's, my cards.
I love my cards.
Yep.
Des knows I love my cards. So what would you say to someone who is starting out in their career and they look up to you and someone who's been so successful and such a strong female presence?
I think, dude, actually, you would know this better than any. I think working out before you go on a stage or go into an interview or anything like that, whatever your workout is, whether, again, it's walking in nature, it's the ways you find flow, I think really prioritizing that experience and allowing it to be part of your prep, the same way doing your hair, your makeup, or your outfit is part of your prep, but allow yourself some symbolic, amount of sort of flow finding time. And again, it'll come to be a touchstone for you usually, whatever that thing is. The other is, I think I've gotten so much confidence through my kind of friend networks. And again, a lot of them were here today and are here at, we're there for each other in any of our career endeavors and personal endeavors. That gives me, I look in the audience and I see people I've worked with before or who I grew up with or who are, women here who like went to college with my brother and was always this cool older, student or who I wanted to be like. And so having those relationships where you just know you're supported and investing again in those, that is really confidence generating to me because I know those people know me. Yeah. It might help that I haven't changed much in my whole of my life. So I think my personality is pretty similar to when I was 13. But so for confidence, another thing, I totally believe in like getting your hair and makeup done and wearing a suit or a thing haven't worn before. Yeah. Like that where you're like, I am in a costume. I am going to be confident today. And it's kind of, I don't know. That seems to work for me too.
What suit? By the way, your suit is
Thank
amazing.
You. I'm totally doing exactly.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing L'Agence, which I'm probably saying wrong. It's L'Agence.
Okay, I know.
You know what it is. It's the spring collection, and I was like, I would never wear that, but I was like, but then I'll be I'll distract people with my suit, and then I will get away with
less attention
saying
to me.
some other things, saying silly things because they'll be so distracted by my suit. But thank you.
Okay, you mentioned working out. What is your go-to?
Okay, so I love to play sports. I am much better at playing sports than I am at like a rigorous workout. So I play tennis at least 3 to 4 times a week. I surf, but that is like...
Do you really?
I'm not... That makes it sound like I'm good. I enjoy surfing and have learned enough that I can, not look like a complete...
I miss surfing. I used to surf in my 20s.
I bet you did, and I bet you're really good at it.
I was,
have a feeling.
But
if I
now
were really good
I'm
at it,
falling off the side. I can barely
how
stand
can you
up.
not, dude? If I were really good at surfing, it's like if I were a really good singer, I find every karaoke place.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I love surfing. That's full flow finding for me, and that's only a couple months a year though that really works in terms of the water that we find. But I love playing sports. I am learning golf. I coached lacrosse for a long time. Love throwing the ball with my son. But if I must work out outside of sports, if I can't find it all there, then Pilates. I do. I have three back surgeries, so I got really.
Oh, wow.
I really feel like Pilates is very, very helpful. I've done Peloton. I've done Tone It Up. I love all those community space. I don't prioritize them anymore. Is my problem.
Yeah.
I like the communities, the groups. That experience virtually or however. But I really, it's a shame I don't make time for those things as much.
A lot of times when we talk about the third chapter and we talk about the importance of weightlifting and protein, do you have priorities with that? Or
So I need to develop them. I admit that I do not have a weight-bearing business like thing right now, and I absolutely believe it. I've absolutely seen it. Every brilliant fitness and person and medical professional has made the clear case. I like lifting weights even. That's something I like.
Makes me feel good.
It feels dope. Yeah.
I was like, I went from being a surfer triathlete to then just yoga. And now in this flow of my life, I love to just lift weights.
And so what should I lift? Like what's like, if you were to give me like a few things, so we've got all the weights. My husband and son do tons of weights.
Okay, we'll start with 10, 15, 20. It's amazing. Like I can
get the reps, I think.
Yeah, you can do the reps. Do some, it's basic. Do curls.
Okay.
Presses.
Okay.
Pulls.
Okay, that's good. Pulls, presses.
It's a push and pull.
Okay, push and pull. Okay,
Yeah.
so
like literally,
press.
you know what's
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Here's my
Keep
little
going.
hack.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm too busy like you
Right.
are. I put a set of weights on my kitchen counter.
Smart.
And when I'm walking through the kitchen, I'm like curl press.
I love that. Okay.
5, 10 reps, 10 times a day. It's like
that's your arms. Don't we have to do all sorts
but
of,
then
right. I was like, then what
this
happens?
This is my other hack. I've shared it before. Every time I go to the bathroom, because I have to pee a lot because I drink a lot of water,
Sure.
I squat 5 to 10 squats.
That's amazing.
So-
what a good idea. You're like really incorporating it. You're like, well, I'm
like
already
the
doing this anyway.
The micro workouts, I'm calling
That's
it.
great.
Just like
So
you
5 squats when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think having those, like, that would totally work for me because it's like you've got the trigger. It's like cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
It totally would work. Okay. And then, so squats are everything. What about core?
I'll just hold like a plank here and there.
Okay.
Get down.
Throw a plank. I bet you can plank for so fucking long. How long can you plank?
Hell no.
You can plank for so
No.
long. Just go do it out there.
Like 30 seconds.
It's really good. If I
at a
can do
time.
30,
if you do
I'll
it like
it
3
for
times
30.
a day. Micro.
Okay.
I want to do studies around these micro workouts.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I love it
No-
because also now that we know that it doesn't have to be an hour
who has time for that?
Yeah, that is a great idea. Like, can you change behavior? I know some things are good for me. I know I literally publish a platform about the time, making the time for ourselves and doing these, changing our behaviors to prioritize ourselves. And yet I don't do it. And I think that looking at the ways that we can change behavior I want you to dig in on that and help me with the research and we'll publish it all over because it would be really cool. And I think that having the trigger of like you walked in the bathroom or you're walking past something at the kitchen counter, you don't get to move the weights maybe until like they will be there until you do that. Yeah, I like the idea of building it into existing routines.
That's what helps me. I went through a phase myself where I was anti-workout, just stuff going on, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I'm like, how do I get back into it? One little step, one little thing in front of the other.
Right.
And then if you think about energy, I don't drink caffeine. So right before you got here, I was doing jumping jacks.
See, that's exactly and everyone here knows that's more effective than drinking caffeine. So it's not like we don't get it. It's just doing the right thing, changing the behavior is so oddly challenging for some of us. Like
little steps.
It's not even that you don't believe it's better, you know?
Well, I think that's so important to bring up is it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Right.
It's those little tiny steps.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that away.
Okay, so what's up next for SheMedia?
Okay. Well, SheMedia, I think that our launch of Flowspace has been really big. It's like 2 years in, but we didn't get a full edit staff until about a year ago. We are hiring. So if you know women
What are
who
you
are
hiring
great,
for?
we're hiring for product innovation, for writers who are deep on sort of longevity optimization, health span. We're hiring for chronic illness experts, design. Like we have, it's definitely proven itself as a healthy health platform. And so now it's really, we're going to be doing a lot more. So we will have many more of these kinds of community events because we love them, but also because they really work. People remember each other and stay invested. They read our content, which is, is our economic model. So that has been really effective. You'll see a lot more from Flowspace, I think, and us reaching out into other media with that brand. Then She Knows is kind of all parenting all the time, very much more focused now on research around raising teens. That's like I'm very interested in this, in how we raise teens who are coming up in just a very strange time. They had COVID, they have AI, they have crazy town, mixed messages in our very polarized world. Like, I really want to better understand how we we need help on how to raise
I know.
them.
I mean, I grew up in the 90s when we weren't talking about mental health, but we didn't have social media. We did have 17 magazine, which was.
I remember. I was before you, but we had 17. We had Jane magazine.
I
We
had Jane,
loved it. It was so edgy.
But that was like our social media. When I grew up, that was what we compared.
Yes. Yep.
But it's a different world these days.
It is. And the way the communication happens between teens is so distinct. And I don't know if it's good or bad. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We as parents trying to guide this behavior and say, we're like, that's bad to be on screens. I don't actually really know if that's bad. I'm on my screen as much as my kids in some cases.
Yeah.
So I'm modeling bad behavior. But I think because it's work, maybe it's okay. I think that we're just starting to learn the impacts, and I'm very eager to work with the incredible researchers and thought leaders who are addressing teen experience, not just teen, but Gen Z experience. And we've started doing those kinds of partnerships. And we have a teen council of 90 kids who are now producing content with us, for us, keeping us honest. So it's still all published for parents or for people who care about Gen Z, but it's pretty funny to see how many things they call us out on. They're like, yeah, that is wrong, or that is a trend from like 11 years ago, and you're just finding out about it because you're middle-aged white ladies.
Here
So
we
anyway,
are.
I'm like, true? Okay, that's why we got a council. Tell me.
All right. So after an event like this and the planning that leads up, what does Samantha Skey do tonight?
Oh, I actually have a really good plan tonight, but normally it would be like go on a bender at Netflix and pretend I'm going out, and I don't, and everyone thinks I'm with somebody else and I don't go out. Tonight, my friend JJ Ramberg, who was on stage talking with Emily Morse about sexual health and wellness, JJ lives in LA, so I'm very lucky that I have some of my best friends are here, and her very dear friend Pilar Guzman, who's another of our good friends, who's at Hearst doing Oprah. Oprah. She runs the Oprah platform editorially. We three get to have dinner. So that's super fun at JJ's house, which is, and I adore her kids. And so I'm very lucky tonight. And tomorrow I get to see my real best friends just had a baby at, who she's been longing for this particular life force for 20 years probably. And, she's her daughter is 2 months old, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be allowed to touch her because she's only 2 months old, and because my friend is very focused on making sure that this baby remains healthy, and so but that's super fun too. So I got a lot of good energy coming up.
You have good community, socialization,
I'm
great
lucky.
for your mental health.
Yeah,
and
I'm lucky. That is my hack.
out, everything that you do for work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for
Total pleasure.
taking some moments here at
That's
your
a total
event
pleasure.
to sit down with me. I appreciate you and all that you're doing and your voice. And I look
Thank
forward
you,
to
and
watching
same
what's
to you.
coming up.
Same to you.
The big silence. It's time to sing.